Is poverty social? Is poverty natural? What's its relationship to justice? These are questions that have been raised in reaction to the video series that I'm doing, so I decided to make a quick episode on the fly to address them. Don't worry, this one's going to be quick. In response to my video series on my book, a lot of people have said, why should I be concerned about poverty or inequality? Poverty is the natural state of human beings. Now, I understand what people are saying here. If we were to sort of pluck Elon Musk out of our society and put him into the state of nature, he wouldn't be living his lifestyle, right? He wouldn't be driving his Tesla, talking on his iPhone, flying in his private jet. Now, perhaps the state of nature isn't going to be so bad for Elon. He might enjoy poverty. Certainly, if we take Rousseau's lead, we think that the state of nature is one of, might be poor, but it's happy. No one's in charge of anyone else. We're all free to do whatever we want with our days. It's pretty nice. Of course, if we follow Hobbes, we view the state of nature as the war of all against all, where we're engaged in a bloody and bitter struggle for survival until we all band together to create the state to control us. Now, I'm not interested really in Rousseau or in Hobbes. I want to talk about David Hume. I really recommend David Hume to you. He's an interesting philosopher with a lot to say about a wide range of human experience. But I'm just going to talk about one thing, and that's our relationship with the resources of the world. Hume observed that human beings are neither in conditions of absolute scarcity, sort of like a Mad Max sort of fighting over a bit of water or a bit of oil, and there's like awesome metal music playing, and people are like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. That's not what we live in. But on the other hand, we don't live in conditions of superabundance. I can't satisfy all my needs simply through my own labor. I can't, make a computer on my own. I require other people to cooperate with. And this is the conditions of limited scarcity, where if we collaborate with each other, we will produce more than anyone individually could. And this is what Rawls says puts us in the circumstances of justice. The circumstances of justice describe a situation where enough people are engaged in cooperation that produces benefits that we need principles to regulate the distribution, not just of the benefits, but also of the burdens that cooperation produces. This applies in a society, but it also, I think, applies globally with our globalized economy. And this is where socially produced poverty becomes relevant. Socially produced poverty can refer to instances where our principles of justice fail and some people receive an excess burden from social cooperation. This can take the form of absolute poverty. It might take the form of inequality, but it is a matter of concern. Now, how we cash that out depends on your perspective. Let's say you're a Marxist. You're going to say that any system that rests on the appropriation of surplus value from the working class and its distribution to the owning class, the bourgeoisie, so they can more efficiently exploit the working class, is inherently unjust. There has to be a revolution. Private property must be destroyed. There must be a collectivization of the means of production and the creation of a glorious communist utopia, if that's your perspective. You might also be a libertarian, and you might say, well, I'm not really that fussed with some people being very wealthy and some people being very poor. Now, why do they think this? Well, let's say you and I are given 10 grand and you are great with money. You're in the stock market, you're like soy, and you gain millions of dollars and you wisely invest it, and then you get billions of dollars, and you've got a rocket ship and you're blasting off to Mars, Elon Musk style. Good for you. You have won capitalism through free and fair exchanges. I, on the other hand, I'm not so good, right? I mean, I'm an academic. I'm obviously not good with money. And I'm just like, hey, 10 grand, I'm going to buy Bitcoin and invest in that. And then Bitcoin becomes worth like a potato. And I've got to live out in the back alley in a refrigerator box, depending on the charity of others to make it through the day. Now, if I get there through choices that I have made and no one has coerced me, well, a libertarian is going to say that's just the consequences of your action. You've made your Bitcoin bed and you've got to lie in it. But let's not get carried away with libertarians. They often get an unfair treatment. They would say that when inequality is produced through the use of coercion, through the use of unfair practices, through the use of power, and some people get wealthy and other people become poor, that is a matter of justice for a libertarian. They want free and fair exchanges. If those exchanges are getting corrupted, then we're not going to have a just society. Now, I'm neither a Marxist nor a libertarian. I'm a Republican. I'll do a series on republicanism one day. But needless to say, my concern is with freedom. Human freedom understood as freedom from domination, which requires that no one can be so rich to buy another person or so poor as to sell themselves. That's Jean-Jacques Rousseau, not me. Much smarter man. But this is why I'm concerned with inequality and how it relates to liberty. Socially produced poverty tends to be bad for liberty. Okay, wrapping up this quick video. Thank you for watching. I hope that this has cleared up my ideas around poverty. And, don't take me as a source from, the Oracle of Delphi. I'm just a philosopher trying to make my way in the world. See you next time. Take care.